Hey guys, so I'm doing my quick postpartum um, period update using cloth pads. Sorry I'm being really quiet. Valerie is back there sleeping, and so I'm trying not to wake her up because she's already like stirring around. Anyways, so I used cloth pads for my very first time for a postpartum period, and I've got to say everything was amazing. And I really, really hope by the end of this video that you are convinced to use cloth pads for your period or your postpartum period because it's amazing. Okay, so I made all of these myself. The patterns you can get online on Etsy for free. If I know that top of my head, I'll say it, but if I don't, I'm sorry. So yeah, let's get started. So the very first bleeding that I had obviously is going to be super duper heavy, and so I used one of the 16-inch pads. It is almost as big as my arm. Yeah, that's my elbow. It's a 16-inch postpartum pad, and let me tell you, this thing is a goodness gracious goddess. I used these the most during my heaviest days bleeding because this thing was amazing. I put 2 layers of Zorb in some of them, and then others were um, 2 layers of fleece or toweling and fleece or cotton and fleece. I mean, you can do whatever you want really when you make your own pads, so it doesn't really matter, just whatever combination I felt like putting together. So I had 2 of these, um, 2 of this kind. I made 5 altogether. This cupcake print, this print, and then this bird print. So these are my 16 inches, and these were the beast of all pads I've ever seen in my entire life. And as time got on, my period started slowly getting, as I guess it's a period, the bleeding slowly starts getting, less heavy. So I switched to these, and I think these are 14-inch pads. So this is what it looks like snapped, and this is what it looks like unsnapped. So I used these, and I have koi's. I had the chevron print, and you can see some staining. When I did about the staining was I dunked them in peroxide. This one has really bad staining still. I just dumped peroxide on them, and I then threw them in with the diapers because we were cloth diapering our daughter and so I just threw everything together after I dunked everything on. So that's how I washed them. And then this print, or this style, was not my favorite, but I still ended up wearing them. So I might end up giving these away or selling them. I'm not really sure. So this size, I cannot remember. I love my lady cloth pattern. And I just don't like how big the flare is. But I used them because I made them. I might as well have used them. So, yep. So I made those 2. I made this guy, and I made this guy. So those were for days that the bleeding wasn't as bad. And then we've got this style of pad, which was definitely my favorite. I sell this size in my shop. So this is what it looks like snapped, and this is what it looks like unsnapped. So the same way I make these pads in my shop, I made them for myself for my postpartum bleeding. And I've got to say, these held up really well for postpartum blood, for really super heavy bleeding. So it makes me feel really good that I'm making something for a customer, and I know these actually work for myself, so I really hope that they're working for customers out there, and that's using them on a postpartum period. So it's really heavy, and these held up great. So I'm probably going to be making more for myself. So I made this one. This is such a cute pattern, or fabric. Even the pattern's super cute. That one. This guy. This guy. And then these homes. These are cute. So these were another favorite. And then I made I made 2 of this style. These are sweet dragon cloth, I think. She's on Etsy. I have 2 of two of these, but I've only been able to find one. I don't know where the other pad went, but I really liked this for bleeding. I think this is actually a 10-inch. I'm not really sure, like I said, but this Sweet Dragons cloth on Etsy, I think. But I really liked this. I have two of these. I don't know where the other one is. So, yes, I loved this one. And then, of course, I used, my Creations by 5 postpartum pads and then my overnight pads. I really, really liked these. They worked really great. My computer's about to die, so I got to hurry up and do this. These ones, like I said, when my bleeding wasn't as heavy, I started using smaller and smaller pads. And then basically until I got down to using nothing but panty liners until I wasn't like spotting anymore. So those were the pads that I used. I'm sure there's other ones in there that I'm missing, but they basically adjust about it of the basically all the way to the beginning of the bleeding all the way until the end of the bleeding. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it's like rushed and quick. So if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.